The first thing I did after being reborn was quit my 7-figure salary job. Then I put up my car and house as collateral and borrowed 1.8 million, all just to buy an off-road RV and head to Tibet. My coworkers thought I'd completely lost it, but only I knew. 3 days from now, the zombie virus was going to hit. The Sichuan-Tibet route is barely populated. Perfect spot to set up a shelter. In my past life, I was kind enough to save a beautiful stranger, but she turned right around and stabbed me in the back. Not only did she drive off in my doomsday RV, she cleaned out every single supply I had, left me surrounded by zombies. With nowhere left to run, I jumped into a river and ended my own life. When I opened my eyes again, I'd been reborn, 3 days before the apocalypse. I shot straight up in bed. Then my phone suddenly went off. Screen showed Zhang Dafu. Still barely awake, I picked up. Zhang Dafu's voice came through. Yo, buddy, my birthday's this Saturday. Throwing a huge party, gonna go absolutely crazy. You better not skip out on me. Your birthday, hold on, that's not right. Hasn't the apocalypse already happened? Call ended. The date on my screen. This was exactly 3 days before doomsday. I actually got reborn. Then it hit me right before I died in my past life. There'd been a flash of light from the ring on my finger. I lifted my hand to check. And sure enough, my right index finger still had that plain beat-up old ring on it. Except now it felt like it had fused into my flesh. No matter how hard I tried, I could not pull it off. At the same time, a flood of information just dropped into my head out of nowhere. Turns out it was this ring that brought me back. And on top of that, it could store items. I clenched my fist, absolutely buzzing inside. With a storage ring like this, stockpiling supplies was gonna be way easier. Thinking back on the betrayal from my last life, I squeezed my fist even tighter. I survived 6 months alone in the apocalypse. I was no helpless rookie. I had strict survival rules, and could even hold my own against a handful of zombies. But that one time I let my guard down and felt sorry for someone. It cost me everything. This time around, I'm not playing hero for anyone. Back in my study, the first thing I did was call my boss and quit. On the desk was a notebook with a survival plan I'd rewritten 100 times. But then, a middle-aged man's voice came through the phone trying to talk me out of it. Xiaoli, don't do anything rash. Stop reading all that toxic garbage online. If you want to travel, just take a long leave of absence. Don't just up and quit every time. Uncle Chin, I've made up my mind. I just want to thank you for everything over the years. I shook my head. No matter how hard he tried to convince me, I turned him down flat. Then I called the bank, put up my house and car as collateral. And right after that, I hit up a loan officer I knew there and gave him a call, borrowed 1.8 million. Then I drove straight to a dealership and picked out an off-road RV with insane performance. The saleswoman in the suit hit me with a 1.30 million price tag. Said if I financed it, she'd knock 30K off. I looked at her and let a little smirk slip out. Agreed to finance it right then and there. 0 down. Once all the paperwork was done, I didn't stop for a second. Drove straight to the biggest wholesale market and loaded up on cigarettes and booze. Based on what I learned in my last life, those two things in the apocalypse were straight up tier 0 commodities. And the way the zombie virus spreads, it's not through the water supply. The RV had a built-in water filtration system, an electric kettle. As long as I could find a water source, drinking water wasn't going to be an issue. After grabbing a few cases of water and some basic gear, I headed straight to a pharmacy. Antibiotics, painkillers, fever reducers, hemostatic meds, antiseptics, vitamins, bandages. Every single thing you might need when the world ends. I bought it all. Sky was barely getting light. I was pushing through the exhaustion of an all-night shopping run and checked on the storage ring. At this point, nearly half the ring's storage space was already filled. But it still wasn't even close to enough. So I jumped in the car and drove out to some factories on the edge of town. In my last life, when I fled the city, I'd spent a few days out in that area. There was a whole cluster of food factories out there, and most of what I needed, I could buy right there. I threw on my sunglasses and walked straight into a compressed biscuit factory. A security guard led me to the factory owner's office. Hey boss, we're both surnamed Lee. Let's skip the pleasantries. I want to buy a bulk order of your compressed biscuits. Right now, immediately. And however much you've got, I'll take all of it. Money is not an issue. Brother, that's gonna be tough right now. We're in peak season. Orders are backed up like crazy. Best I can spare is about 50K worth of product. And as for the price, I had zero interest in going back and forth with him. I just slid a number across the table and let him do the math. His face lit up just a little. Time was tight. No more back and forth. He stood right up. And just like that, cash on delivery. We locked in 500K worth of compressed biscuits. After that, I made my rounds to every canned goods factory nearby. A mid-sized truck rolled in and out of each one, hauling away load after load. The storage space in the ring was almost completely maxed out. Once all that was done, it was time to gear myself up. I drove over to a military surplus store and grabbed a collapsible baton, binoculars, and a tactical flashlight, a military canteen and a multi-tool shovel, a waist pack compass, the works. I was flying around the city like an ant on a hot griddle, hit up an electronics market and a farmer's market, picked up a full drone kit and a dozen types of seeds suited for planting in Tibet. Just when everything was pretty much squared away, Yang Dafu called. Yang Dafu, almost forgot about you. What's up? Why are you calling me? Yo, buddy. What are you up to? Come hang at my office, grab some tea. I said sure without hesitation. Perfect timing heading to Tibet anyway. Might as well bring him along. Inside Yang Dafu's office, 3 or 4 women were sitting around the tea table chatting. He led me to a seat at the big table and pointed out a woman sitting diagonally across from us. The second I saw her, I froze. It was Shen Mengchen, the campus beauty from my college days. Yang Dafu caught the look on my face, eyes lit right up, and started grinning ear to ear. Went ahead and spilled the whole story about me crushing on Shen Mengchen back in college. Right then and there, Shen Mengchen's face turned a little red, eyes sneaking glances my way every few seconds. I took a deep breath and brought up my travel plans, with Young Dafu, suggesting he celebrate his birthday differently the day after tomorrow. Young Dafu heard that, slapped his knee, and said yes on the spot. That night I stood on my balcony staring up at the sky. The day the apocalypse hit, an aurora would streak across the sky visible from anywhere on Earth, and then release massive clouds of viral dust, turning all of humanity into zombies in almost no time. If I hadn't fallen asleep in an underground garage that day, I probably wouldn't have made it either, just as I was thinking through how to avoid the aurora and dodge the infection. Shen Mengchen walked out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, drying her damp hair in front of the mirror. When I'd talked Yang Dafu into making the trip to Tibet, she decided to come along with us too. I looked straight into Shen Mengchen's eyes. Mengchen, I've always had feelings for you. What about you? Oh, me? I've always liked you too. We're both adults. No point dancing around it. I reached back and shut the bathroom door behind us. One night later, when I woke up again, I felt something coming from the ring on my right index finger. Some kind of strange surge of power. I stared at the ring, confused, looked it over a bunch of times. Couldn't find anything different. But when I turned and looked at Shen Mengchen, I stopped cold. I reached out and touched her back in disbelief. Smooth as silk, and her face. She looked noticeably younger, like several years had just melted off. I had a feeling this ring might have other abilities too. Before I could think any further, Shen Mengchen let out a soft little sound and woke up. I looked at her, freshly woken up, face all innocent and sweet, and went full predator mode, launching another round. Later that morning, Young Dafu and the crew had already been waiting at the park plaza for a while. An off-road RV rolled up slowly. I stepped out holding Shen Mengchen's hand. Young Dafu saw us walking out hand in hand, immediately broke into this big grin, and quietly gave a thumbs up. He walked us over to the shade of a tree and started doing introductions to the whole crowd. I looked at the group in complete disbelief. There had to be 20 or 30 people there, and a dozen or so RVs were parked nearby. Young Dafu's ability to pull people together was seriously no joke. It's my birthday. More people, more fun. If it was just the 5 of us, that'd be boring as hell. Everyone rolls out together. We all have a blast! Young Dafu threw his arms around 2 girls standing next to him. I'd seen both of them at his office the night before. Before I could say a word, 3 guys walked over from nearby. So you're the one leading the convoy, right? This all came together so fast. We didn't do any planning. We're just following your lead the whole way. Of course, no problem. They all reached out to shake hands all friendly-like, and I had no choice but to shake each one back. One of them, a 4 Eyes, was sharp, already clocking my off-road RV. That RV is sick. Off-road version 2. That's gotta be over $1 million, right? Don't even think about it. My buddy bought that with his own money. Li Jian, let me do some quick intros. The buff guy is Zhang Yang, glasses guy is Sun Yi, and the tall one is Ding Ning. You'll meet the rest on the road. Basically everyone here is a good friend of mine. Right then, the rest of the group came over and gathered around. With Yang Dafu doing the introductions, everyone started loosening up. On my signal, the convoy officially rolled out. We drove on, slowly leaving the city behind. Shen Mengchen sat there picking at a little fruit platter. I grabbed the walkie-talkie. Heads up, everyone. We're getting on the highway. Don't miss the ramp. We trust you on this, buddy. But dinner time's coming up. Where are we thinking for food? There's a rest stop about 10 kilometers out. We'll grab something quick there. But we need to push the pace. Gotta hit Rongdu before 6. My plan, reach Rongdu by 6, enter the Sichuan-Tibet route from there, and make it to the bridge where I jumped in my last life by 10 p.m. There's an abandoned air raid shelter near there. We could use it to hide from the aurora. Being on the road past midnight would be extremely dangerous. A line of 13 RVs queued up and pulled into the rest stop one by one. While everyone else went to eat, I grabbed 4 big bags of stuff from the store and headed to the register. This cash is useless after the apocalypse anyway. Might as well spend it all. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a whole shelf of Durex boxes nearby and tossed those in too. The cashier was a woman in her 40s. She gave me a long, slow look. Right then, the buff guy Zhang Yang walked into the store. He clapped me on the shoulder. Didn't know you were like this, man. Looking well prepared, huh? Takes one to know one? Zip it. I laughed it off and headed straight back to the RV, thinking through how to nudge everyone into stocking up more food along the way. After all, in the apocalypse, having a team to lean on beats going it alone any day. I found everyone at the dining area, used the excuse of Tibet being sparsely populated to tell everyone to stock up on extra food. Everyone was on board without question. After eating, they all piled into the rest stop convenience store and went ham. We cruised down the highway, and plenty of passing drivers shot us envious looks. Everyone wants that freedom and adventure, but most of them are still out here grinding just to get by. I just quietly shook my head. I wasn't out here on vacation. This was straight up survival mode. Heads up, there's a big rest stop coming up. We're taking a 30-minute break. Grab food when you get inside, and stock up on oxygen tanks too. It was already 6 p.m., and past this stop was Rongdu. No way I was letting them drive into Rongdu right now, so I had everyone do a final resupply here instead. Once we parked, everyone rushed into the shops. I went over to the gas station and asked the attendant if I could get extra fuel pumped into the metal jerry cans I had. Predictably, I got turned down flat.